Namaste. Are we blaming others without reason? This is a question we need to ask ourselves very often. You are watching Alpha Mind Power YouTube channel. So we talk about the mind, the different facets of the mind and how we can bring it to line. So keep watching this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. Okay. So are we blaming others? Now if I ask this question, you may immediately say, no, I never blame anybody. But many times we do it without thinking, or unconsciously we keep doing it. So let me give you one or two examples. There was this lady, a couple actually, they had decided to go abroad for better opportunities, and when they got a good job, the husband got a good job, so they shifted and went abroad and started living there, and she also got a job there, and she started working. But the climate was very cold. That was a country which didn't have much of a summer, so all the time it was very cold. It was in the northern hemisphere. So she found it very difficult to adapt to that climate, and because of that she had a few health problems, and she was taking treatment for that and getting better. But all the time her talk was, because of my husband I came here, and because of my husband I am suffering from this cold, because of my husband I am taking these medicines, because of my husband I am not able to relax. So it was all the time because of my husband. So when they both came for counseling, when they spoke to me, the husband was feeling very sad about this. He said, when we decided to come abroad for better opportunities, both of us made a conscious decision. Both of us were working in India, and we left our jobs, and when we got these opportunities, we came here. So we have been working hard, and we really want to build a nice future, and all that. All those plans are there. So it was a conscious decision taken by both of us. But of course, after coming here, we never thought much about the climate earlier, but after coming here, we are finding it difficult, no doubt. But we are adapting, we are finding ways and means to overcome the difficulty. And it's better now, much better now. Even she is actually health-wise much better now than before, because now she knows what precautions to take and what medicines to take. But he said, what makes me very sorry, feel very sorry, is that every time she keeps blaming me, as if I forced her to come. It was not like that. So you see, that lady is suffering because of the health problems, and little bit of discomfort is there. Of course, she herself agreed she's come a long way, she's much better now, but still few things are there. But talking like this and blaming the husband is not going to promote their relationship in any way. It's not going to lessen the problem in any way, and it is not going to give any solutions. So I told this lady, see, you yourself have found certain solutions, like certain medicines or certain precautions that you can take, which maybe earlier you did not understand. So that way you can adapt yourself to that climate, and both of you together can definitely overcome all these difficulties, and then move on in your life and achieve the goal which you came there to achieve, which is to create a better future financially and otherwise. So that way this blaming comes just because of the inability to manage. So that was one thing. Then there was another student who was not doing very well in his 12th standard, +2. And when the parents brought him to me for counseling, the first thing he said was, my teacher is no good. My teacher does not teach well. My teacher is always in a hurry. So I said, see, you must be having different teachers for different subjects. He said, yeah, all of them are like that. So then you just imagine blaming the teachers and not one teacher. If it is one teacher, then maybe that particular teacher, that particular person maybe is not doing very well. But he was blaming all the teachers. He said, all of them are like that. They don't teach us properly. I don't understand anything, so I cannot get good marks. So again here, whether he is making an effort to study, whether he is putting in the hard work that is required for +2, that he was not considering. He was not willing to do all that. The parents told me very clearly that he can sit down and study properly. If he does that, if he sits and studies properly, he can do very well. But he is not willing to sit and study for even 2 hours every day. And in +2, you know how it is. The system is, you do have to put in a lot of hard work. So this boy was not willing to do that, but he was all the time blaming the teachers. So again, I made him understand. I told him, see, you can keep on blaming the teachers. Nobody can stop you if you decide to do it. But it is your life which is going to get affected. You are in +2. And if you keep blaming the teachers and you don't study and you don't get through the exam, then what will you do? He was a little bit surprised when I said that, because he was not thinking about the the repercussions. He was not thinking about what will happen if he doesn't study. Although it has been told in the classes every time, but his mind was more on putting the blame on somebody. So that way, when you start blaming somebody, what will happen is you will not take the responsibility to create the changes that you need in that situation. So this was another case, and then of course I advised him and made him understand that he has to sit and study. Whatever inputs the teachers give is fine, but if he doesn't put in hard work, he cannot get through. So then there was an improvement in his studies. That's one thing. Then one more example. This is again about a couple. They came for counseling. It was marriage counseling actually. The husband, what happened is when the wife was pregnant, she went home for delivery when she was in her 7th month, and after 2 months the delivery was expected, but unfortunately the child was stillborn. But even after that she stayed in her mother's place for another 3 months, because one is she was grieving so much and her health was not cooperating, so her parents wanted her to be there and they wanted to take care of her, so her husband also was okay with that. So after all that she came back, which means she was not here with him for about 6 to 7 months. And when she came back, somehow she found out, of course through the mobile phone, that's how it happens nowadays. She found out that during that time when she was not there, he had a fling or an affair with some other lady, and when she came to know this, she was totally devastated. She fought with him and refused to talk to him. She wanted to go back to her parents, but then he didn't let her go. He said, no, I don't want anyone to know this. It just happened because of you. Now that is the biggest problem here. See, his having an affair is a problem, yes. But even after that, when she confronted him, what he said was what made it worse. He said, yes, I did this only because of you. And the wife was even more heartbroken. She said, how can I be the reason for your being unfaithful? Then he said, you were away for 6 months. And what would I do? At that time I was so vulnerable, and I came across this lady, we became friends, and somehow something went wrong, and we met a few times, but after that I realized that I shouldn't be doing it and I stopped it. So what's the big problem now? And it all happened only because of you. This is how the husband was talking. So this lady was again and again telling, when they were both speaking, she was again and again saying, see, he has done something wrong, okay. Now he is not even regretting it. He is not taking responsibility for it. He is putting the blame on me. She says he is blaming me for not being there when I was struggling with the delivery and then with the loss of the child. How could I be blamed for this? So then I explained to this gentleman that first of all what you did was wrong. It's not something a wife can easily accept. Having said that, she has come to know about this, so then the best thing would be for you to ask for forgiveness, or just say that, see, it just happened. I think something went wrong, or I was in a vulnerable state and because of that it happened, and it will not happen again. So let us forget this and let us move on in life. At least if you speak like that, then maybe she will also understand. I know it's too much to ask of her, but still she might still understand, and she might still say, okay, what is gone, past is past, let us move on. But when you say you are to be blamed, then how can she take responsibility for that? So that way, when we make a mistake, instead of finding someone to blame, if we could take responsibility for what we did and then try to make amends, that would make the situation much better. So think about it. Sometimes we may be doing it without really thinking too much about it. So if at all you're blaming somebody somewhere, then stop yourself and think, instead of blaming somebody, can I change the situation? Can I take responsibility? Can I bring about some good changes here? Then life will become definitely better.